Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Whenever I read a piece of news and I find that a certain country is able to send some hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars to Ukraine, I'm wondering, okay, is that money available? So that means, it's like you're a function in a household. Is that money from your credit card? Is that money from your credit line? Is that money coming from borrowing it from a bank? Or is that the money from your saving account? And it's not from the saving account of a country. They don't have surplus. They don't have that. And if they do, if they send it over there, the next question is, that's the best case scenario. I give you some money from my saving account that I saved. It's my money right here. I'm calculating, okay, it drops this much. The problem is that this money that is sent to Ukraine is not coming from the saving accounts of these countries. It's most likely coming from loans. So your country, in this case, is going to be Sweden, goes to a bank, international banking system. You gotta love them because we don't know who they are. There are some people who just write zeros and lend money to people who and countries that borrow them. We don't know who they are, but nevertheless, somehow all this planet, maybe minus one or two countries, are in debt to these financial institutions that have no faces. We don't know who they are. We don't know who are in charge. Who are the people? If you have a grievance, who can you go and talk to? You go to the first guy right here. But the first guy right here is not the one who actually is in charge. Neither the other one, neither the other one, neither the other one, and then you lose track. You lose your way in the forest. You don't know, okay, now who's next? I don't know. Those names are unknown. Well, they talked about Rothschild and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Find him. He walks in New York City in the street with no protection. There are videos on YouTube. A guy talking with one of the one of the Rothschilds in, I think it's either in London or in Manhattan. He walks from his car straight, talks to him, and the guy talks to this guy. So they're nice. They're nice people. Who are those guys that these countries are borrowing the money from? So let's say your country or our countries borrow the money and give it to another country. Don't you think that money could have been used, for instance, for your country's infrastructure? Let's say in this case is Sweden. That's the article I'm going to debate. Sweden just approved, or at least they're talking about sending to Ukraine aid valued at $100 million. Now, Sweden is not a big country, has what, 11 million people. Now, if you think about how many schools, how many roads, how many kindergartens, how many hospitals could have been built with that money, instead of giving it to a country that you don't even know where that money goes to. That's the first thing. And you go send it to a lost cause. Instead of keeping it to your country, to your people, and improve your lives. Because actually, right, it's Sweden, is not Ukraine and Sweden together. It's Sweden. That's why it's Ukraine, Sweden, France. Oh, you talk about globalism? That's never going to happen. Never, because people have identities, national identities. You need, I don't know how to say, not even generations to erase the national identities of countries. Those guys who have this plan, they will be long gone, if you know what I mean, before that happens. Okay, let's read this article with Sweden, who's going to borrow to give to someone else, not to its people. This article comes from Associated Press from June 2nd, 2022, via the Hindu newspaper, whatever it is. Sweden announces $100 million in aid to Ukraine. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. In addition, Sweden will contribute $100 million kronor for civilian efforts through the Swedish Civil Contingency Agency. Good. So you're going to send people over there to us? What's going on? Sweden on Thursday announced additional aid of 1 billion kronos, $102 million, 95 million euros to Ukraine, consisting of both financial aid and military equipment, including anti-ship missiles and anti-tank launchers. And I'm quoting, "We are now sending a new phase in the Russian invasion." No, we are seeing now a new phase in the Russian invasion where Russia is gathering strength in eastern and southeastern Ukraine, and the Ukrainian side has requested help in several areas. Defense Minister Peter Hultqvist told reporters at the joint press conference with Finance Minister Mikhail Damberg. Damberg, okay. Mr. Damberg said the Scandinavian country would contribute 578 million kronor to the probably crowns to the Ukrainian Central Bank fund for its armed forces, 60 million kronor for NATO's fund to help Ukraine armed forces and military equipment worth 262 million kronor. In addition, Sweden will contribute 100 million kronor for civilian efforts through the Swedish Civil Contingency Agency. The military material consists of Sweden's anti-ship missiles system Robot 17, which is a modified version of the US Hellfire missile systems, as well as 5,000 anti-tank launchers and AG-90 assault rifles and ammunition. In late February, Sweden broke its doctrine of not sending weapons to countries in active conflict for the first time since 1939. Congratulations, Sweden. Congratulations. Announcing 400 million kronor worth of military material and a donation of 500 million kronor to the Ukrainian Central Bank's fund for its armed forces. Sweden, along with neighbor Finland, in May overturned decades of military non-alignment by submitting historic joint application to join NATO, as support for membership soared in both countries after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Good, good. Now you're going to have some nuclear missiles pointed to you. Before they were not. Now they are. That's okay. I hope you sleep better over there in Stockholm and Malmö and Göteborg. Okay? Good for you guys. Good for you. Good for you. It seems like you got a lot of money. I give you my address. Can you send it to a few millions to me? Like about 50? Tax-free. Just aid. Just donation. Just donation. I need it. My neighbor beat me up last night. Don't you feel a little bit sorry for me? That's the way things go. And they say they de-escalate the conflict. Is that a de-escalation? I'm pretty sure. I'm sure that Ukraine will run out of personnel before they run out of money and weapons. And then maybe I don't know they're gonna send what, robots to fight the Russians. I don't know. Thank you for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.